great that you're preparing to address the topic of race and racism in your class using the Talking About Race resource. Research shows that children notice race, and from the early years they learn attitudes about race based on what they see in their societies. Black children, children of colour, traveller and Roma children and Muslim children may also experience negative words, racism and exclusion at a very young age. The resource focuses on racism not only in individual acts, but also as something that is embedded in our society. It is so important for children to have a chance to talk about these issues in a safe space. Together, teachers and families can help them to develop positive perspectives on diversity in their societies and to think about the changes needed for social justice and equity. You might have some questions about how best to get started with this. Well, I've got some experts here on education, anti-racism and activism to give you some suggestions.
Take up opportunities for training in this area, if at all possible. If you're interested in talking about race in your classroom, doing some training yourself will mean that you're really well prepared and confident. Black and Irish currently offer teacher-specific anti-racism and anti-bias training that we're working on rolling out to all school staff in Ireland. If this is something you feel you and your school might benefit from, please get in touch with Black and Irish via our website or ask your school principal to inquire directly. Donegal Travellers Project also have a course called Interculturalism for Educators, and you can contact Barry Mooney at Donegal Travellers Intercultural Training Team. If you can't access training right now, there's some guidance at the back of this book where you'll also find lots of reading suggestions around talking to younger children about race and racism.
Teachers, you know your class best. You might decide to use only part of the book or to work with small groups rather than with the whole class. You decide what works best for your class and context. If you are going to read the whole book with the children, you will probably need at least 3 lessons based around the 3 main themes: similarity and difference, race and racism, and bringing about change. Try to use methodologies that encourage talk and discussion, like circle time, thinking time, or pair work, for example. Often, it can be uncomfortable for teachers and children to talk about race and racism. The well-being of all children in your class is your top priority, and while these discussions are very important, they need to be carried out with care. Think about specific supports you might need to make sure that the discussion itself is respectful and that all children in the group feel safe during and after the lessons. It can be helpful to plan appropriate responses to questions or comments that might arise, or to attitudes that might be expressed.
Once you have a teaching plan in mind, let parents and carers know that you're going to do this work. This will give them a chance to talk to children alongside class discussions if they wish. Each time you do a lesson, you could provide an update or suggest a talking point for home. You're probably already talking with children about many aspects of sameness and difference in their everyday lives, such as families, hobbies, and gender. Try extending these discussions to include a focus on race. You could use storybooks such as my book, The Same But Different, or some of the books by Kids Own Publishing. They're produced with Traveller, Roma, and refugee children. There's a list of books at the back of the resource.
Children will probably have lots of ideas about making positive changes in their school. Think about how they can be supported in this. If you can, work with students to develop a class or school anti-racism policy. Be open to feedback from your students and their families. It's important that children feel empowered and hopeful. Together, we can make a change.